Let's get into the theater, the lovely theater.
Into the theater. As I find, okay, I'm hearing myself echoing on someone's. Hello?
Well, it can't be your daughter's.
No, she's got headphones on, so it's got to be yours. The theater.
I have headphones in too.
When these dads meet world, watching Boy Meets World. We grew up on the show, now we have kids and host a podcast. We watch each episode and then share our thoughts and grades. When these dads meet world.
They want you to take the roles.
Take a look, kids. This is what it looks like when you're naughty. While we were cleaning earlier, I put that on for them, and my son was so like, "What is happening right now?" And Sarah's like, "They're being silly. That's what they do. Is they're silly."
Just wait till you get to the episode with John Adams high and the death.
Yes, he's not going to listen to that episode or watch that episode. But hey, good-looking people, you're listening to this episode of Dads Meet World, your weekly deep dive into that 90s classic, Boy Meets World. I am one of your dads, Tyler, joined as always by dad number 2 this week.
I am Brett, dad numero doso.
Yes, and we are joined once again by a special guest, back by popular demand because she's forcing us.
Oh yeah, I'm back again so
Who
soon.
are you back again so soon?
Hi, I'm Abby here again. Hee hee. Silly.
Yes, well, part of the lore of our show is that Abby comes on mostly when it comes to theatrical things or over dramaticness, and this is the one that she said at the start of our podcast, I have to be on this episode.
I will be on this episode. Yes.
At the time, I thought to myself, man, are we going to make it to season 5? I don't know. But yeah, so
way back in episode 1, I think it was in the plays The Thing, we were done recording. You're like, I'm coming back for Eric Hollywood.
Yeah, It's the best episode. I have to come.
Okay.
You gotta hold us in suspense for what your grade's gonna be.
I think we all know what my grade's gonna be.
You can't give it away in that first sentence.
Say what it would be.
Brett, we're talking a little bit off mic about our experiences for the holidays. Anything you want to share to the good-looking people?
Yes, we're recording here on the 28th of December. Had a kind of a quiet Christmas, just here at the house with the kids, and my parents and my sister and her kids came over for the afternoon. Did some stuff, watched some 4-day break Netflix Christmas football. Neither team I was rooting for won, so yeah, there we go. That's fun. And we did about 3 days late our annual Christmas lights extravaganza, where we like to drive around and look at Christmas lights. But
is that very late?
Yeah, it did feel late. But we did that tonight, so that was a lot of fun. And our DJ Abby was decided that we did not have enough silly songs with Larry in our lives. So feeling nostalgic was in the back seat while we're driving around looking at, admittedly, some really awesome Christmas light displays. In between, driving around listening to the Cebu song, the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything, all these other silly songs with Larry. So how was Christmas, Abby?
That doesn't sound very Christmassy.
Well, it wasn't Christmas, but like it's good enough.
Read the Bible.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought Christmas was great. Played a lot of Jackbox, so that was fun.
Nice.
We did.
We like Jack. We have Jackbox.
Yeah, Christmas murder party, murder trivia party. There you go. That's
I
Christmas.
love trivia murder party.
Oh, you should invite us sometime. We'll play.
We will have to do that.
Yes.
On our end, I will say we've had a bit of a chaotic mess. We had a good Christmas. All of the children were so happy. My oldest ended up unwrapping a good chunk of our youngest presents. And then when it came to the big ones, he goes, "Can I help them? Can I help them?" We're like, "Sure." Um, so yeah, lots of excitement, lots of energy. The in-laws got to come, so that was nice. We weren't sure if they were going to make it, and they did. They got here Christmas Eve, and we were not ready for them. So we said, okay, 2 hours. We're gonna have people here. We are going to need to leave to get to church, and we don't have a choice. We have to get this done. And our oldest was just la di da di da. We're looking like, what are you doing? We're in panic mode.
It's like when the McAllisters wake up and realize they've overslept.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, so we he asked us if he could watch a Christmas movie on the way to church. And we said, you know what, sure. So he chose a Home Alone. We're like, okay, cool. So on the way back, we're like, well, whatever. It's Christmas Eve. You can watch on the way back. So we're driving back, and it's at the point where he has gone complete saw mode on his house and terrorizing and trying to kill these two, honest to goodness business robber men. And they my son is in the back cackling, just laughing so hard, like he's never seen the movie before. And we literally watched the movie like a week ago.
Oh my god.
And we're like, shh, you're going to wake up your siblings. They are out. You have to laugh a little quieter. It's like, it's so funny. So yeah, we literally, yeah, that's the thing. We panic to clean, panic to get ready for church, and then we're driving. We're listening to Home Alone, and we're just stewing. Like, I can't believe his parents are like this. I cannot believe the way that they allow the oldest child to act, and the way that they allow Buds to act. And I'm
Real.
like, literally, they are doing bad parenting. Like, what is the deal with this?
Real.
And
I
like, it's
hate
not
them.
all his fault, and the brother sucks, and.
Yeah. So let's talk about some teenagers who don't have any parents present.
Yes, let's talk about some drama, some real theater. Yes, Brett, hit us with a theatrical synopsis.
All right. So we're going to talk about the 19th episode, Eric Hollywood. When Eric's shoddy set design. Now, I say I don't write these. I actually did tweak this one because the IMDb synopsis was long-winded, and the IMDb one was really brief, almost Disney Plus brief, and the Wikipedia one was really long-winded. So I kind of made a mishmash of the two and made my own.
Fair.
When Eric's shoddy set design injures the star of the college play, Eric assumes his role. After a surprisingly superb Shakespearean acting debut, Eric is invited to join the cast of the hit ABC sitcom Kid Gets Acquainted with Universe. But when he arrives at the studio, he discovers that the shallow, egotistical, and neurotic actors are not at all like their roles. Meanwhile, Topanga tries to salvage her relationship with Shawn, who's not sure he can remain friends with both her and Cory in the wake of their breakup, after he and Jack come down with chickenpox. This episode was written, at the time her name was Barbie Feldman. She has since come to be known as Barbie Adler, whether through marriage or just through changing her name.
Kitty cat.
Yeah, kitty cat.
Yeah.
New kitty
Is that
cat.
the new one?
That is the new one, yes.
So big now.
Yes.
Hi, kitty cat.
Looking so pleased.
He's purring, so.
Yeah. This is
Such
Barbie's
a big tail.
second of 6 episodes. You can go back to our episode on Raging Cory to see all of her contributions.
Nice.
Directed by Alan Meyerson, originally aired March 20th, 1998, 2 weeks after our previous episode. The IMDb rating is 7.9 currently. That's 0.7 lower than the last episode we had. And is currently, I say currently because from the time that I sat down and tallied all of the IMDb scores to now, this is actually the next episode is the one this impacts, but the next episode is actually the score has changed. So I'm going to start saying currently. The next episode actually has raised. So I'll tell you more about that in the next episode. But currently, this episode is tied for 11th place in the season at 7.9. Tied with Boy Meets Real World and Raging Cory. Yeah, I see you shaking your head. It's only 11th good.
I know, it's so rude.
And previously, our last episode, and then there was Shawn, only pulled in an 11.76 in the Nielsen ratings. What do you guys think Eric Hollywood managed to pull in after a 2-week break?
What do those... I don't know the
Nielsen ratings
system.
Is how they used to yes, it's how they used to, and to an extent still do, track how many million households were tuned in during the episode.
Okay.
So they used to have little boxes they'd put on the TV to scan and send the data out. And so previously, the last episode, there were 11.76 million households tuned in during the episode. So how many million households do you think were tuned in during this episode?
13, maybe?
We're going like at least 12.
All right. There were 12.88 million.
Nice.
So
I was really close.
You're both right to go up, and you're both pretty much in the target area because it was nearly 13 million. Mm-hmm. And that is everything I have to get us started.
Interesting. Sorry, I just popped up on our alma mater about their theater program because I was thinking about that and just saw that they apparently have a new theater called the Bagpipe Theater. That's
Bagpiper? That's not new.
Yeah.
I had a roommate who was in a production in the Bagpiper when I was there.
Where's that located? That's not by Sheets.
No, it's across from Pizza Joe's. Little catty cornered from Pizza Joe's.
You mean the place where they sell drugs?
No, that's Pizza Dude.
That's Pizza Dude. Yeah. Sorry.
Pizza Joe's.
Oh, Pizza Joe's. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Bagpiper. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I now know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've got to rethink where the S Bend was moved to, because when I was there, the S Bend still ran right through campus, and it was just across the street and about 2 buildings down from Pizza Joe's.
So I never saw a show there at the Bagpiper Theater, but the other one that's like 2 steps away from Sheets, I saw 2 different shows there, so that's why I was confused for a moment.
Yeah, I had a roommate who was in, I believe it was The Importance of Being Earnest, which, deep pull for you good-looking people who are Sam Raimi Spider-Man fans, is the play that Mary Jane is performing in Spider-Man 2.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
It looks like they did some upgrades, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I would hope they would by this point.
Yeah. They may not have actually used it whenever I was in school. Maybe that's why I didn't know. So.
It has been 20 years, 22, 23 years since I saw him in that play. So,
yeah,
I would hope
my 10-year reunion was this past fall, so we didn't make it to Geneva. I'm very sad.
Yeah, my 20 years coming up. So, Tyler, take us away. What do we
So
got?
let's get into real theater, shall we?
Theater.
Yes, we have one of those episodes. We have one of those Eric-themed episodes, Brett, where Eric is the main character. Always fun, quirky. One time and one time only, we will see that Eric and Jack are part of a theater production at college. How they got onto this, we don't know. We don't even know their majors.
Is this a class? Is this extra credit?
Right. That's the thing I keep wondering about. Is this like an actual, is it a club? Is it a class? Is it an actual majors that they, applied for? And
And how
What
many
skills?
productions are they doing? We've got like at least 3 different Shakespeare productions they're doing in the span of a week here.
Yeah.
No, for real. They went straight from Romeo and Juliet to Hamlet in like 2 days. I was like, wait, what? What happened?
We have references to Eric doing, I think, King Lear and a couple other ones I mean, anyway.
Well, he makes it sound like he's only been working on the balcony, which I'm not going to lie, good-looking people, I've built enough things to know it shouldn't take that long for someone that knows what they're doing to build.
Well, see, here's the thing. When that balcony collapses, okay, the sound design is such that it sounds like actual stone collapsing. But Abby, you've worked on set construction at the high school stage level. What do you guys use to build your sets?
Wood.
Yeah. Wood, maybe some plywood, or maybe some drywall.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that much different at Pennbrook. Okay, Pennbrook's
Yeah.
not exactly Ivy League. They're not a tech school. They're pretty much your normal, average, everyday B tier state school. This is going to be styrofoam, plywood, aluminum if it were the home improvement universe and Tim Taylor was doing set design, but this is not stone that's going to crush the actor and need paramedics.
Well, you're also not using paste.
Paste.
No.
Yes, the nail's silent cousin.
Yes. Now, I will say, if he was using wood glue to save time, I do get that. Wood glue is super
without
strong.
nails or screws. I can see Eric doing that.
Yeah, I could see him doing that too. So depending on how he did it, that could also still be dangerous. You always still screw it down to be on the safe side.
I can definitely see Eric just stopping at the wood glue.
Yeah, me too. But also, Brett, why is Eric the one that's doing the construction? At no point in this show have we seen him have any accliments towards a hammer and nail. Nothing.
I'm thinking he's the only one who volunteered because his dad has an outdoorsman store.
It could be. But also, one of the things I do love about this is that, well, first of all, for those that didn't watch it, which why are you listening to us if you haven't watched it yet?
Go watch it first. Pause.
Go watch it first. Eric causes an accident and then reveals to the director, who apparently goes, "What am I going to do?" Well, I don't know. You're kind of old. Maybe you should retire.
Well, let me give us some information on our director.
Go ahead.
And I'll go ahead and give our information on our leading lady too. All right, our director is Professor Cookmund. Aubrey Morris, first and only time we'll see him on Boy Meets World. 166 acting credits, including productions of Ivanhoe, Oliver Twist, The Saint, A Clockwork Orange, Murder, She Wrote, Alien Nation, the TV show, not the movie, Babylon 5, Deadwood, It's Always Sunny, and more. Sadly passed away in 2015.
Oh.
And Judy, who will become, we'll talk about her more. Deborah Kellner, first and only time on Boy Meets World. 19 acting credits, including Weird Science, the TV show, Sliders, Just Shoot Me, Mighty Joe Young, Blast from the Past, Dawson's Creek, Charmed, Catch Me If You Can, and a few more. Has not been on camera since 2002. So I think we should get some insight from our theater expertise here. By the way, lettered theater major here. We're going to call you theater major for the night. Because yes, you have lettered. Because at Cuyahoga Falls, you can letter in theater.
But before that, Eric is officially now going to be the lead of a play that is happening in like an hour.
He's
Abby,
gone to
go.
Yes. Now, your director does not like to have an understudy. This director clearly does not have an understudy for the lead of his Shakespearean production, which is about to go live. How do your productions at school normally get the set design squared away? And what happens if your lead all of a sudden is, shall we say, kaput?
Okay, well, first of all, all of the set design would be finished by the beginning of Tech Week, if not earlier.
What?
Like, and it's not a last minute thing. You're not putting the final nails 3 hours before opening night. That's not how it works.
What?
Okay. Thankfully, I've never had a scenario where the lead goes kaput. But honestly, Eric probably isn't that far off. Our first bet would probably be a stage manager, because they're the most acquainted with everyone's lines, because they have to keep track of everything.
You actually
But
have some experience with this, don't you?
yeah.
Okay, real quick. What if Eric actually is the stage manager and just no one told him?
That would make a lot of sense.
And he was just told, know all the lines. And he said, okay, I'll know all the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm hinting at this, but Abby is actually also directing a one-act performance coming up soon, and had a lead actor who bowed out. We'll be generous and say bowed out, and the stage manager is replacing that role.
Yep.
Stepping into that role. So yeah.
Quite the adventure I had, randomly getting an email in 6th period, hey, I can't do this, apparently.
So you are Professor Cookmund.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever shall you do? Retire, you're old.
I mean, I will be retiring after this performance that I'm not even in, so.
Yeah.
I basically am.
Yes. Fun note, not credited, but one of the two paramedics is Matt Kirkwood. And if you don't remember the name, Good Looking People, that is kind of our utility player for the show. Kind of our do everything guest star. Started out as a photographer when Eric wanted to be a supermodel, and one of our chubbies, perhaps our last chubby. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, these guys are really awfully nonchalant about a potentially dying college student, don't you think?
Yeah. They charge paddles, Brett.
Clear. Are you sure you can't perform?
I'm going to be honest, my theater teacher would probably do the same thing.
Now, Abby,
go on.
Yeah.
Is one of your characters also Cartman?
What?
In your repertoire. the characters that you can portray, your personal repertoire.
I don't think so.
I'm not fat. I'm just fluffy. I'm festively plump.
Yeah,
I can't do Cartman.
I can't do Cartman, no. I haven't even.
Do you know who Cartman is?
Yeah, I know who he is. I've never actually watched South Park, though, so I couldn't do an accurate imitation.
Could you do a Peter Griffin?
I'm not even going to try. I'd fail miserably. I'm not very good at impressions.
That's okay. Not everybody can.
Yes.
I will tell you that every time we watch the movie Sing and the character Mike comes up, my wife's always like, I can't stand the character Mike. I'm like, I know, but you have to admit that Seth MacFarlane is a really talented individual.
Oh,
I know,
yes.
and I can't stand the character. I'm like, I know, but he is singing as a mouse spectacularly.
I had to look up who that was. I haven't watched Sing in years.
What? You're a theater girl. You should know better.
I know.
Theater!
Yes. So, okay. Here's the most interesting thing about this episode to me, Brett, is that the only real scene we see of the play is the fight scene between Romeo's character and Abby, help me out.
Mercutio.
Mercutio?
Or is
okay.
it Mercutio? I think it's Mercutio.
Mercutio is one of the two. I don't remember who's who.
He fights
Jack
both
is
at
playing
some point.
Tybalt, performing the scene stars.
Prepare to die, Jedi Master.
Yeah, so the two of them are going back and forth. doing Shakespeare, Brett. They are doing real, for lack of a better wording, real acting in this moment.
And they're not doing half bad.
Right. It's believable. It's fantastic. And you're sitting there going, why was there not a thing about these two going on Broadway and actually performing? And I get mental health. I get it. I get, it wasn't a thing in the 90s for people to jump over to Broadway and then come back and vice versa. But they have talent. Like, why are their talent not being used in the show?
Because the joke comes first.
The joke comes first.
And that's
but I
all
do
people
love
see.
They come close and he says, "Prepare to die, Jedi Master." Yeah, but some real Brett, real acting chops.
Is it real?
Real.
That cactus is a little unsettling.
It is.
All right, so clearly, Mrs. Eric Matthews is the name for people.
I love that. Judy is referred to as Mrs. Eric Matthews, and then we never see her again.
Ever again.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
Never again. So, that's okay. I didn't like her for Eric.
Theater expert, theater major, Abby. Has any of your performances, any of your high school stuff been featured in multiple papers?
No, but we also don't really
have you had multiple reviews of the show?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Oh, you mean reviews like this?
I have finally found my niece.
You mean niche?
Probably.
Unbelievable.
These reviews are incredible.
Look, Mom, if you're gonna pay attention to the good reviews, you gotta look at the bad ones.
But there are no bad ones.
I know!
Listen to this. Matthew's King Lear rules. Matthew's performance would tame any shrew. Promise me you won't let these things go to your head.
I would never.
Oh, look, Bloomingdale's is having a white sale.
That's not about me!
Okay, so okay. Let's take a stab at this for a moment, Brett. What if this is like Shakespeare's classic scenes?
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, wait, what if this is like a Shakespeare mashup?
A selected
the scenes from a bunch of plays.
I can work with that.
Like they're playing multiple characters. It's like they have the two main people as like their main characters and yada yada. So
that makes a little more sense and gives me a little more hope for the theater department rather than just Pennbrook settling for a traditional Romeo and Juliet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen them do enough of Romeo and Juliet over the years.
This would be the second time that they've done.
No, that was used.
Hamlet. That was Hamlet in season 1. So okay, yeah.
I'm a spear carrier. My dad's gonna come see me die.
Yeah. That's not about me.
Yes, okay, one of my favorite running bits of Boy Meets World, and it continues into Girl Meets World, of I found my niche. You mean I found my niece. You mean niche. Because in the future he refers to Riley, Cory and Topanga's daughter, as hello niche. Oh, your dad and I are gonna have so much fun conversations when we finally get to Girl Meets World.
Oh boy.
His head's gonna hurt a little bit more after each recordings, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get our stone walls right beside us. We on the safe side.
My desk is sturdy. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Topanga and Shawn and Jack.
Yeah, let's do that. We get to Shawn, Jack, and Eric, who doesn't show up to the apartment this go around, even in between shows, apparently.
He's busy looking for more reviews.
Yes. Apparently, Shawn, Jack, and Cory are going to go to a 76ers game.
Philly sports.
This is the first time it's mentioned all season.
I
Gotta have
know.
at least one time it's mentioned.
Well, they
Anywho,
couldn't get Eagles tickets.
yeah. And so Topanga shows up, and she's concerned that, she wants to talk about their friendship. Not just about the fact that Cory and her and him aren't really a thing now. So, like, what about them? What about how are these two? How's their friendship going to work? And Jack comes out and says, "Oh my gosh!" He goes, "Well, apparently she's not concerned about being my friend."
Oh yeah,
And
because she says,
What happened to your face?
oh no, that's gonna be. Oh no.
that's gonna stay in there.
I get really nervous about your dad's rotation of little clips he has.
Ooh, ramifications. Nice word, Jughead.
Up top!
Yeah, so apparently Jack has full-blown chicken pox, and Shawn has half chicken pox. And so,
Only half blown.
yes.
Want me to
Topanga's
connect
gonna
the
take
dots
care of
for
them.
you?
Yes, awesome. But Cory knocks, and Topanga shuts the door on his face.
They have chicken pox. Go away. He's not going to listen to you.
Don't
That
come
boy
here.
is so
Okay.
ripped.
Hey, what are you doing here? Yeah, he goes to open the door, and Cory's gone. Because apparently Cory hasn't gotten chicken pox yet.
Which is kind of sad.
It is.
Especially, we were still doing chicken pox parties when Cory would have been 6,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Even in upper crust Philly.
Let's say, Brett, I grew up in the time period where when a kid got sick of chicken pox, your parents encouraged you, go talk to them. Because they'd rather you get chicken pox
spend some
when you're
time
like
with them.
6 than when you're, in your 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Much easier to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
And actually, when we were watching this, we were watching as a family, and my oldest goes, "Wait, what's going on with them?" We're like, "It's chicken pox." Oh, can I get that? And we were like, "No, we made sure you couldn't. You've been vaccinated."
Yeah,
You've been
I grew up in the
inoculated.
era. I grew up in the era where I just got vaccinated to have to deal with it at all.
Yeah, lucky duck. Oh yes, apparently, Shawn is now exhausted and he is going to pass out. I don't know, Brett. Does it kind of feel like now that it's been pointed out to him that he's sick, he's like, yes, I am sick.
Yeah, I think he might have been in denial because there's no way you can miss all those spots on your chest when you're putting on your shirt. I think he was just kind of trying to man through it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no way he was. Now he's got the excuse to just collapse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did
Now
the
he's
same
hit that
thing.
wall.
Yeah, I did the same thing in 4th grade. I had a sleepover that night, but I woke up feeling extremely sick. But I didn't want to miss it, so I went to school. And then I ended up being sent home with like a fever of like 101.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That was wonderful.
Yes, so we go back to the Pennbrook Theatre Academy.
Theater!
The only way I can describe it now.
Yeah.
And Amy and Alan and Feeney are greeting Eric, and they're all very happy for him, very supportive. And the professor brings in some gentlemen. Brett, do you happen to have this part clipped? Yes.
There are some gentlemen here who want to talk to you about your future.
Are they gypsies?
Randolph Dixon, Juilliard.
What's that?
Prestigious acting school in the country.
Sir Ralph Premnition, RSC.
What's that?
Royal Shakespeare Company, the most famous theatrical company in the world.
Excuse me. Matt Frazier, ABC.
Was that?
The American Broadcasting Company, the #1 network alphabetically in the world?
How would you like to come to Hollywood and be on television?
Me! In the TV!
So, Abby,
Yeah.
you have a choice. Which of those 3 are you going with?
If I was going into acting, 100% Royal Shakespeare Company. Like, stage acting is very different from TV acting. I would not adapt well. And Juilliard's great, be amazing to go, but in the acting world, it's kind of better to have those company credits than just your diploma.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Yeah. I do want to say two things about this. One, good-looking people. We do know that Gypsy has come to be known as a slur, and that Eric at this time was not aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, know that we don't say that as ourselves as part of our vernacular. There's our public service announcement. And two, I love the whole "was that." it's just fantastic. Was that?
Now,
That's just.
Now, do you think this is one of those cases where the professor actually called some of these individuals and said, "Hey, I have a student you might be interested in"? Do you think they taped it and got sent out? Like,
I think
what?
with as
What are you
small
two
as a
feeling?
school as Pennbrook is comparatively, for those types of organizations, he would have had to have reached out to them
Yeah,
somehow.
definitely a call. Yeah.
Especially the RSC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Juilliard might have scouts in the area just naturally, because Pembroke's they're not going to be that far from New York City.
Right.
But RSC, man, they're going to have to put some feelers out to RSC for Eric to be given a shot.
Yeah. Well, again, Brett, this is one of those things where Eric is shown to be good at something,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to see it fall apart, because that's what happens every time this show gets 5 minutes to show that Eric can do something well.
Yep.
Whether it be at the store, whether it be at his internship, or his job that disappears after the first season. Like, this is literally what happens to Eric all the time. He is there for the funniness.
Yep. He's there for the jokes. No, don't let him go have success in this field. Let him go the route of, let's go for the funny.
Yeah. Do you like how even at this time, Brett, they have to admit that ABC is
number
the
one
number
alphabetically.
one alphabetical in the world? Yeah.
And do you notice how they don't bring attention to the fact that ABC is not even exclusive to America? There's the whole Australian broadcasting company as well. Anyway.
Me in the TV.
Yeah. And I'm only going to give you IMDb information for one of these three men, because the other two, I mean, they're there for a sentence each. But Matt Fraser, because we're going to see him throughout the episode, played by Robert Clohasey. First and only appearance on Boy Meets World. 142 acting credits, including Hill Street Blues, Doogie Howser, Angels in the Outfield, Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman, NYPD Blue, Chicago Hope, All My Children, 27 Dresses, Law and Order, White Collar, The Avengers, just a police sergeant, so not a big role, The Wolf of Wall Street, The Blacklist, but probably his most prominent role, and Abby, your mom, would recognize him if I brought this name up, Sid Gormley on Blue Bloods, the entire series, plus a whole lot more.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's like he's got that face. Like as soon as I wrote through his IMDb, I'll have to look it up. So I'll look it up while we're talking.
Yeah. Abby, give us your take as they're going into the Hollywood. They're kind of doing this montage of going past certain, studios, and you see some props and trailers and people walking around in costumes. So what's your take as you're seeing all this unfold?
I'd say honestly it looks pretty normal to me when it comes to anything acting related, like especially on stage productions. There's props lying there. People are walking around in full or half costume. Like that's pretty much exactly what it looks like backstage, to be honest.
Second episode in a row where he's at a payphone.
Yep. we asked Grayson, "Do you know what that was?" He goes, "It says phone." Like, yeah. You know why it says that?
Well, no, not two in a row. I'm forgetting an episode in between, but anyway.
Yeah, second, an episode or two ago. Doesn't matter. But Eric claims, Brett, he's home. Apparently, this is where he belongs, and Feeney is there to help get him set up. And okay, this is a point in the episode that kind of bothers me. Because is Eric there on a tryout basis? Is he there as a guest star? Or was he offered like a role in the show?
Yeah, it reads both ways depending on which scene you watch, because in Philly it reads like he's been given the role. When he's in LA, it reads, I mean, clearly he's been Kirkwood is or what's his face? Fraser is saying he's been brought on to try out. Fraser, by the way, in Angels in the Outfield, he was Frank Gates. Don't ask me for any more beyond that because it's been too long since I've seen Angels in the Outfield.
No, that's okay. There's so many people in that movie.
Yeah. there were, and I've seen, it's been too long since I've seen it to remember who was who.
It's on
it reads both ways, but with Fraser saying on the set he's been brought in to try out, I have to go with tryout.
Right. Well, and it looks also like this. All the stuff we're seeing is them kind of going through the scenes, which it feels like it's dress rehearsal. Like they have camera rolling, but he's not coming in for like a table read, from table read to dress rehearsal to actual filming. So it's like, okay, so was he brought in halfway through the week? Did he go to the
this is not normal TV process.
Right. Did he not go to the
like
table
he's being
read?
brought in to sub in for someone who they didn't work out for them, you know?
Yeah,
it's a very confusing model they're putting forth here.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I mean, they're clearly going for the jokes, Brett. Like, there's no way else around. The whole point of this is that Eric is brought into what he thinks he knows is making TV and making theater in TV, and it's not. And all the ways that people try to help him is not good. Yes, one of my favorite lines in this is, "You get out of my space!" As Morgan, the lady who plays Morgan, is pushing him out.
42 years old, and I play little kids.
How old are you, little girl? I'm not a little girl. 42 years old.
Yeah, and she assaults Eric the first moment he's there on set.
Yeah, pinches his butt. Hello. Yeah, so we should go back to Shawn. I love how my little thing says Shawn and Jack's apartment. It's Shawn, Jack, and Eric's apartment. It's like this show won't admit that all three of them live there at the same time.
Yeah.
I did notice this last week, Brett, but we officially have the red couch now.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I noticed that like a lot of the stage setup / costumes now kind of fit this amalgamation where it's all sticks around. Like the shirt that Shawn wears, we'll see him wear the shirt multiple times throughout the rest of the show. Like, it's just really funny to me because it felt like the first couple seasons, it's almost like they couldn't keep them in anything consistent because they kept growing too much. And now they've kind of hit like, we can now keep you in consistent clothes.
Yeah. They on their pod Instagram, they brought up they shared a 2-page spread from some magazine that was talking. It was a walkthrough of their apartment, and there were I guess the set dresser had worked with the guys about some of the things they wanted in their apartment, and the red couch was a specific ask from them. Nice. So this must have been around the time where they did that, since we've got that red couch in.
Well, because the couch they have initially is just very bland, and it looks like it barely even is there. So that red couch feels very college age,
Yes.
When a red couch look cool.
The only other thing that would scream college more is a futon.
Yeah, well, it could be a futon. I can't wait to talk about that red couch later on, Brett.
Ah, yes.
We'll get
I
there.
know exactly what you want to talk about.
I do. I want to
But
talk about that.
Jack has a very perceptive fever.
Jack his head is on Topanga's lap as she is reading a book to him. I'm not sure what book, but apparently these two lovers will meet again in heaven as the two of them cry together. I did ask my wife, I go, do you think that's the Notebook? And my wife went, no, that's not a Notebook. I said, okay.
That could be one of many, many, many books. Who knows?
Yeah. But it's not like it indicates of title or anything like that. So, but yeah, Shawn is very rude to Topanga throughout this whole thing, and Jack keeps being like, "She's really nice. She's a great nurse." Like he is delusional at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Delirious.
Go back to my village now.
Yes, although he does make a statement that does shake Topanga a little bit because he's he doesn't want to be friends with you because you broke up with Cory. That means you were never really his friends. No friends. No friends at all. And it passes out. But yeah, I mean, for three characters who have essentially been friends since they were wee little kids, it could be confusing for the three of them of how are we all friends now? What does that actually look like for us?
Yeah, it's kind of it's a nice bookend or a coda to back in season 3 when we got was it season 3 when we got this little pig?
Yeah.
When Shawn and Topanga were forced to deal with, are we really friends or are we just connected through Cory? When we put Cory in the middle of, side with one of us, who's right with the pig. That we haven't really seen that type of a dilemma since then, and here they are now that Cory's out of the picture. Can they still be friends? So it's kind of a nice little return to that.
Mm-hmm. But Brett, we probably get to the best scene in this whole entire episode because Eric arrives on set officially, and
yeah,
do you have him meeting Ben Sandwich?
I don't have him meeting Ben. I do have Ben's his tirade about the script.
Okay, we'll get there then. So yes, he's introduced to Ben Sandwich, his brother, as a show.
Yes.
Bread sandwich.
Eric is apparently in this. By the way, apparently in the Boy Meets World fandom, a lot of people view this part of the episode, Eric going to Hollywood and being a part of this show, as having never happened because it's just too meta. But apparently Eric is the Jack role in this Kid Gets Acquainted with Universe. So
yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
but we also meet Schneider. Apparently, Schneider's very
Schneider
shy.
and me are wounded birds. Mr. Feeney finds out just how diabolical it is in the classroom.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do love that as well. I love how Jack comes up to him like, "Why do they need you? They have me. Why do they need you? They have me. Where's the banana boy? Banana boy!
Banana boy!"
And then Daniel Fishel walks in. Hi! Brett, I don't want
she's here.
you and her to get you and your daughter to get offended by this, but this is like Kelly to the absolute cranked up to her most bubbliness of every time. Hi! Hi! I'm so excited to see you!
Yeah.
I will relate to everyone!
I'm not offended. There's truth
No.
to that.
It's very true.
Yes. I say that with all of the love I have for her.
Yes. The difference being Topanga does not have self-awareness.
No self-awareness at all. But I do love that. Schneider is a wounded bird. We are wounded birds together.
Aw.
She's touching. She's touching. Let go me,
She's
let go
touching.
me, let
She's
go me.
touching me. I do love because at one point Ben Sandwich goes on a bit of a tirade, and you see Schneider start to curl into himself and holding his ears, and then you see him run away off stage.
And I do find it interesting, even in this hyper universe, this hyper meta universe, Michael Jacobs still finds a way to push college as the ultimate be all for success in the world, because Schneider needs this job so he can afford to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting there. Even there, Jacobs is still pushing the college bit there.
Yeah. And they wonder why my generation's jacked up, Brett. Go to college. Go to college.
Why are you so in debt?
College. You dummy! You went to college. Stupid.
Michael Jacobs, the guy who didn't go to college.
Now pay off all your money.
Did you know that, Abby?
Yes, Mr. Feeney ends up walking over to the his classroom, Brett.
Yes, that looks exactly like the classroom in John Adams High.
Where's all the rest of the desks? Oh, with camera angles, we make it appear like there's more people. That's diabolical.
I'm gonna be honest though, I have been in classes with only like 8 or 9 people, so it's not that uncommon now.
Back in 1998, it was not. We were lucky if we were under 20.
I believe the point of the angles and the way that they have it set up, though, is it's supposed to appear like there should be as many from the one side to the other side. So 3 rows, yes, but there should be at least
there should be
6
close
rows.
To double.
Yeah. In addition, so
because average class size in 1998 in a school that size would have been between 20 and 30.
Yeah,
somewhere in that neighborhood.
Brett, eventually when we finally do get into Girl Meets World, the episode where we meet one of the episodes with Superintendent Turner, we're going to have to bring in Abby because of the whole trying to take away the arts. I'm interested to see what she has to say about that.
Yes.
I'd have a lot to say, but it's going to have to wait.
I believe it. Yes. By that point, you would have to do that from your dorm room.
Oh, yeah.
I love how just Ben Sandwich is literally throwing insults at everyone.
Yeah, yes.
He calls Schneider weirdo Dr. Freak. Creepy weirdo.
Giving me nothing to work with.
And then instantly, when they roll, the main character's name is Rory. Very original.
Oh, yes.
And I believe Shane is his name.
Rory and Shane.
Yes, Rory and Shane. In another world, it's Rory and Shane.
So creative in this hyper world.
Yes. But this is, Brett, where we start to get some of our favorite clips.
Yes, so here we go.
All you have to do is get the keys to your father's car and his credit card.
I don't know, Shane. I got a real bad feeling about this one. I've never done anything like this before. Oh, man.
We're doing this story again? How many times have we done this, Matt? 100,000? He's yelling again. Stop the yelling. How can I learn so much every week and still be so stupid? I'll make him stop.
Okay, we'll get the writers to fix it. Come on, Ben. We got the best writers in town.
Yeah, that's all I hear, Matt. They're young, they're hip, they're fun. Hey, do your jobs!
Oh, what's wrong?
Did I hurt your feelings? Good, because you know what this script is? Poopy!
He's not poopy, you're poopy. Oh, boy. That was a good thing to say.
Let's just watch what happens now.
All right, that's it. You're fired, all of you. Get out and clean out your cubbies.
Clean out your cubbies.
Oh, yes. Fun fact, those kids, writers of all the writers, children of the writers and producers on the actual show. So
I think I did actually know that. I think
fun
you
way
told
to
me
get your
once.
kids on camera there if you're in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Michael's kid who will show up later on, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. I love that he's like, how many times can I learn the same lesson over and over again? It's still
be so stupid. Abby, is there any lesson you've learned over and over again and still needed to learn again?
Many, yes. Unfortunately, that's how adolescence works. Sadly.
Amen. That's how, Ben. That's how. Oh man, we're doing this episode
I got a text
again.
message I was trying to respond to.
Oh yeah.
Topanga.
So yeah, fires all the kids. I mean, the way that they're setting this up, and you could argue for the tabloid and sensationalization of Hollywood, is that all the star has to say is, "I don't like that person. Get rid of them." Like, I'm assuming that it's easy to say, well, the reason why you got the death chair was because Ben Savage didn't like the kid anytime they sat there, and it had nothing to do with him. Like, I think so often it's easy to put a narrative of, well, the star didn't like this, so the studio had no choice but to blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I think a lot of lead actors deal with a lot of people they don't want to deal with for the betterment of the show, but it's a matter of what can they handle.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I do think it's probably was good for Ben Savage on the whole to have this little tirade of like, this is what I could be. You realize I could be this person.
I think it's pretty nice little cathartic moment for him.
Yeah, I mean,
look,
we've talked
I
about
could
this very
be
openly.
this guy, but
oh yeah, I could be that guy too. I mean, we've talked this very openly of, it's very obvious that Ben Savage probably was a sarcastic person, had a lot of pressure put on him for this show, and probably would respond with sarcasm and, maybe lash out a little bit towards his cast members, and that's not that unreasonable.
And
there
are reports out there,
they get misunderstood.
Especially with there's accounts out there, especially with if you listen to Trina talk about some of her interactions with him of ego, which hey, any teenage star is going to have ego out the ears. That's normal part of being a teenage star. Not saying it's good, not saying it's not good.
From 12 to 20, basically, his life was on screen. Literally
not
some of the worst years of your life to be on screen.
That's not making excuses for him, but that's what you have to expect sometimes from someone in that situation.
Yeah. So yeah, I like how after this, then they have Eric come on stage to now do his scene with him after seeing all that, and he tries to do Shakespeare. And Matt tries to be the director. Hey, I love what you did. Don't do it again.
Yeah, is Matt a director on the show, or is he a producer, or is he pulling double duty here?
I don't know, Abby. Who do you think this Matt guy is? What does he do here?
I'm probably going to just say double duty. Wants to do all of it.
I mean, I guess this could be a screen test, really, to see how he interacts with the cast and how it comes across of him interacting with the main stars. And so,
it's possible.
I don't know. The joke's the important thing, Brett. The joke's the important thing.
It is. It is.
Oh, can we put chaperone to Hollywood as another job that Feeney has?
Chaperone to Hollywood star. I'll make a note.
Yes, but this might be the death nail for Eric, because he says, all of a sudden, now the camera's on, you're a different person. What's that all about?
What?
What? What? And Eric and Feeney, as the door is shutting on them as they're sitting outside.
Yeah. Who's handling all of Feeney's? Speaking of adding more to his business card, who's handling all of his duties while he's in California with Eric? This is March. We're not in spring break territory, are we?
Maybe it's over the weekend.
Doesn't matter, Brett. Doesn't matter. Michael Jacobs doesn't know anything about college, so it doesn't matter, Brett. But I will say, this conversation with Eric and Feeney, I do like it. In the sense of, Feeney's trying to say, hey, you try to take the easy path. You try to take the easy route, the thing that you thought was going to be your big ticket, and what you didn't realize was that this was going to be work.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize you accidentally did the hard work to figure out how to perform, so you have to figure out how to do that on purpose now.
Yep.
What do you think of the advice he gives, Abby?
I think it's really good because honestly, it's a problem for a lot of people from what I've noticed, especially when it comes to rookies, that they don't realize how much work actually goes into a show. So I think it's actually great advice. Though I do think if Eric's the one to act from time to time, I think he should see if they're maybe talk with the director and be like, hey, do you need me to ever be in, if you ever need me to be an understudy day of again, then that could work. But I don't think he'd be able to do it long term.
Abby, I think you'll appreciate this. I stumbled on my TikTok feed. There is a actor who part of his decision making on set was the while they were getting ready, like they were doing rehearsals. One of the stage crew forgot to remove a bench, and so during the song and dance, he saw it and just like dramatically picked it up and took it away. And so then they just were like, "Well, I guess we'll leave it because he's now made this a part of his, you know." movement on stage, and so
Yeah,
it's just multiple clips of this guy taking a simple thing away.
it's actually pretty common, honestly. Like, random mistakes end up being in the show itself because it ended up actually being really funny.
Yes. Is there anything you want to add to the whole going? Either one of you. Is there anything you want to add about the kind of a little bit of fourth wall breaking in this moment of seeing the sets, seeing dramatic versions of the characters? Again, my favorite is Topanga's. Hi!
No, I think we covered everything I wanted to share.
Hi!
There we go.
I'm just gonna say that personally, I'm not in the it didn't actually happen camp. I think it actually happened, but at the same time, it's definitely not a popular show. I think it's a dying show. It's going nowhere right now.
It's the show with the fuzzy-haired kid that was bounced around in that time slot that Cory, the doofus, just kept saying more and more and getting himself in deeper and deeper when Cory and Topanga were babysitting that one kid.
Yeah, it probably plays at like 4 a.m. or something.
I mean, that is what's described in that one episode, so I get that.
Yep, and Matt's hoping. He's hoping for 100 episodes.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the interesting about this, though, Brett. Because in this show that he is going to, everyone could look just different enough for Eric that he wouldn't recognize them as them. And even potentially for Feeney as well. So, with our TV rose-colored glasses, maybe, we are seeing them for who they are, but they can't.
And we are looking through the unreliable narrator of Cory Matthews hearing a story that Eric told him. So
He would
That's very
definitely
true.
answer himself, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Anywho, we're back at just Shawn and Jack's apartment, no Eric's apartment, because why admit that there's three
Eric's in
guys living in the
California.
apartment?
He's moved out to the Windy City.
Yeah, and so Jack's gonna go to the store apparently, and he's saying, "Hey, now that I'm feeling good, have you thought about giving a certain friend a call? Rhymes with
No schmanga.
Mashmanga?" I love how he opens the door and it's like, huh, there she is.
Yeah.
So either Jack and Topanga are now friends enough that she can call and say, I'm going to stop by, or he can call her and say, hey, he's still not doing good if you want to come see him.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows with these crazy kids. In another world, those two get married, so who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, so they have now their awkward conversation about how, Topanga's like, who are we? Are we actually friends? And Shawn tries to say, I don't know if you have this clip, Brett, and if you
I
do,
do.
then we
I
can...
have this clip.
Please.
You know, he used to tell me how wonderful you were. But guys always say great things about their girlfriends until they break up. And that's when the truth comes out. You know, I've waited 15 years to find out what he really thinks about you. Do you want to know what he thinks about you now that you've broken up?
Shawn, I don't want to talk about that. I just came here to tell you that you are an unappreciative little jerk. And if you're so uncomfortable around me that we can't be friends now that I'm not seeing Cory, then maybe we were never really friends at all. And I want you to tell me that to my face.
Now that you've broken up, he still tells me how wonderful you are. He's completely brokenhearted over what he's lost.
So am I.
Cory's my best friend. But I want to tell you to your face that if I knew that you and I weren't friends anymore, it'd break my heart too.
Abby, you've ever been a part of a friendship breakup because of a romance gone wrong?
Thankfully... Oh, wait, I was about to say no. Actually, yes.
Thankfully, yes.
I was like, oh, I have... And I was like, wait, I forgot about that. I actually was. Definitely
You don't have
did
to go into any more
choose
detail.
not one. Still in contact with the one I chose the side of. Haven't talked to the other one in years.
Fair. Sick. Your dad almost had a fist fight he would have to get to deal with on a missions trip because of some actions of one of his youth.
Yes. It's always the one.
I was an angel until we left the church's parking lot. There's always some sort of a shenanigan your dad was dealing with me. Anywho, so yeah, I love this little moment that they have together of just making clear of, I'm your friend. As long as we're friends, we're going to be okay. So I would ask you, Brett, if you've had any friendship dramas that have broken up, but you didn't get to go through a lot of the high school drama that Abby and I have had to endure.
Hey, I was in youth group. I had a lot of friends that were dating and then not dating. Granted, not to the level of Cory and Topanga, but where we had Jimmy Olsen freaks following them around the school, and Ira looking for a story. But
it's true.
I've had to deal with that, and sometimes it was easy. Sometimes it involved throwing PVC pipe at the ground in front of the girl's feet to scare her away from the house because she was kind of woo. But yeah, we lived in a house, and kind of our public motto was Nellis loves the kids, and she decided to come up to a house during the winter and spray paint Nellis hates the kids on our house because she broke up with one of the guys that lives in the house. So yeah, kind of had to scare away from the house. But no, I've been involved, and sometimes it was easy to remain friends with both of them. Sometimes it was easier to not.
We unfortunately get to the closing, Brett, because we see what looks like a regular moment from the show, and apparently it's not, because in this moment, in this very meta moment, Eric breaks character and starts yelling at Ben, and Ben refers to him as Will, and he just he has a tantrum is the best way to put it, and
That's
walks
not
off
the
set.
line.
Yeah, it's not the line. What? Oh, I just tried something new. Oh, you thought you tried something new, huh?
Ooh. Eric, Cory, I blew up another mailbox.
Oh,
yeah. Good stuff.
We'll flip that again, huh? Yeah.
It's going to be hard to replace him.
Hey, Banana Boy. Want to be famous?
Yeah.
Who is the Banana Boy?
It's the third AD.
And that good-looking people wraps up this episode.
Yes, it does. And in that instance, Tyler, do you have any deep dives for us?
I have a couple.
People. Am I the only one who read the summer reading list?
All right, so we had. I was going to look at paste versus nails, but I basically, after our conversation, I was like, no, he probably was using wood glue, and he thought that would be enough, but that's not enough. You got to make sure you nail it down or screw it down. Niche versus niece. Obviously, a niece is someone that is related to you by the child being the daughter of your sibling, and a niche is like a calling, something that you're striving towards, something that is important to you, like theater, potentially.
Theater!
So, interestingly enough, Brett, the 76ers did play on March 20th of the as same as the release date. Would you like to know who they played, Brett?
I would.
They played the Utah Jazz.
Ooh.
Defending Western Conference champions. And do you want to take a stab at who won?
The Jazz.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. 91-79. Now, since this is the only time that we will discuss the 76ers, this year they went 31-51, finishing 7th in the Atlantic Division, coached by Larry Brown. Why aren't you showing me players? Oh, there we go. Trying to see if there's any big names on this team. Oh, wow. Allen Iverson was on this season. Interesting. I didn't realize that. So, this is definitely in the early stages of his career. By far, I will say this. This is the last season that Jordan will play. That's not Michael Jordan for you, Abby. Will play for the Chicago Bulls. And Allen Iverson is apparently the only player who has ever outscored Michael Jordan when they've gone. Their teams have played each other. So, only player to do so. So Allen Iverson, big deal. He had a really interesting documentary on the 30 for 30s that I highly recommend. One of the shows that was represented as they walked away, Brett, was Third Rock from the Sun. Yeah. Ran from 1996 to 2001. Starring, if I can get to it, John Lithgow, Jane Curtin, Kristen Johnson, French Stewart, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Those are the ones I always remembered. So, a group of aliens is sent to Earth disguised as a human family to experience and report on the third planet from the sun. I remember watching this as a kid, and I quite enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. I have seen the whole series a few times. We've actually had several guest stars on Boy Meets World that also guest starred on Third Rock. So Lithgow himself is a genius comedic actor, which is
Oh my gosh, that
marvelous
guy.
considering what he is in the dramatic world.
hmm And the other one, Brett, at the time was considered the biggest sitcom on air. Seinfeld ran from 1989 to 1998. Uh, show is, gosh, everyone knows what this show is. Jerry Seinfeld, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Michael Richards, Jason Alexander.
I said the show about nothing.
Yes, show about nothing. Yes, it's the continuing misadventures of neurotic New York City stand-up comedian Jerry Seinfeld and his equally neurotic New York City friends. Yeah. One of my favorite episodes, and I didn't watch a lot of them, was when they pitched a pilot of Seinfeld on the show Seinfeld, and after it was aired, they immediately canceled it.
Well, it's because it went through so many revisions from what they pitched and they conceived to what actually aired. It was a mess. But I did love Seinfeld. I still do. And in fact, just a few days ago, we watched an episode of Seinfeld as a family because we were celebrating a Seinfeld holiday, weren't we, Abby?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Festivus.
The Royal Shakespeare Company, RSC, is a major British theatre company based in Stratford upon Avon, Warwickshire, England. The company employs over 1,000 staff and opens around 20 productions a year. Royal Shakespeare plays regularly in London, Stratford upon Avon, and on tour across the UK and internationally. Formed in April 23rd, 1879. Founder was Peter Hall. Okay. And then Juilliard is a private performing arts conservatory in New York City, founded by Frank Damrosch as the Institute of Musical Arts in 1905. The school later added dance and drama programs and became the Juilliard School, named after the principal benefactor Augustus D. Juilliard. So from 1905 to 1926, and then from 1926 to what the heck? Why? Oh, okay. It was then referred to School of Music until 1986, and I think it's just referred to as Juilliard. Interesting, the name changes that they do for no good reason. But fun fact, apparently Juilliard alums have over 105 Grammy Awards, 62 Tony Awards, 47 Emmy Awards, and 25 Academy Awards. So, apparently Juilliard isn't a bad way to go about there, Abigail. Sorry, I did not mean to use your full name.
It's fine.
The full first name you have. I know it's not your full name. All right, so chickenpox is a very contagious symptom. It includes itching, blisters like rash, in addition to other symptoms. Chickenpox illness can usually lasts between 4 to 7 days. Children usually miss 5 to 6 days of school or childcare due to chickenpox. For most people, getting chickenpox once provides immunity for life. A person can get chickenpox more than once, but it's uncommon. Who is at risk? Anyone who has not had chickenpox or gotten the chickenpox vaccine can get the disease. Some people who get chickenpox may have more severe symptoms and may be high risk for complications. Chickenpox can also be serious and even life threatening, especially during pregnancy in babies, adolescents, adults, and people with weakened immune systems. People with weakened immune systems have lowered ability to fight germs and sickness. Man, maybe that's the key. Maybe Cory has a low immune system and we just don't always see him missing school.
Maybe.
He did have mono that one time.
That's true. Cory Matthews.
There's no place like home. ATM, ATM. All right. Let's see. Oh gosh, there's way too many people. Well, I was going to do a thing about people playing younger actors, or playing adults playing younger people. So let's just throw out some names there. Number one from IMDb of people who played younger, Michael J. Fox. Abby, you want to take a guess on what movie or TV show he was playing a younger person?
No.
Michael J. Fox apparently was 29 years old when he played teenager Marty McFly in Back to the Future Part 3, also Part 2 for that matter. He was 24 years old when he did the original Back to the Future, which means when he was a teenager on the Family, he was
Family
also
Ties.
Family Ties. There it is. Family Ties. He was also an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Damon. I don't fully understand this one because basically there's no actual age specifically for the character of that he played in behind the. Yeah, we're gonna move on. Basically, like he was playing within range, but didn't know if it was 17 to 22 essentially when he played the role, but he was right around the age. Barbara Streisand at one point played a 19-year-old. How old do you think she was when she played a 19-year-old, Abby?
40. I don't know.
41, yeah. Apparently she played Mattel Mendel in Yentl?
Yentl.
Oh, this is a great one. There is someone who played a 14-year-old girl in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and also in the Chamber of Secrets. Anyone want to take a crack at that?
30.
No. It was a 30-year-old playing a teenager. Does anyone want to take a guess of what character?
Which movie?
Oh.
The Goblet of
Chamber
Fire?
of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets.
Also reappeared in Goblet of Fire.
Okay, Chamber of Secrets is how many into the series?
Second
one. 30-year-old playing a teenager, second in the series. I'm going to go with whichever one played Malfoy. I don't know, the blonde kid.
Did you not watch the movies or read the books?
No. I watched one of the movies.
Wow. He is such a muggle.
Yes, I am, and I'm okay with that.
So Shirley Henderson played Moaning Myrtle when she was 36 years old.
Okay.
But she was mostly kind of covered in CGI and was transparent, so
I'd be more impressed if I actually saw her playing a teenager.
All right. So we'll get to this one, Brett, and we'll call it from there.
All right.
But there was a character in Wet Hot American Summer who was 32 years old at the time, playing a, assuming college age or end of high school age character. Do you want to take a guess on the famous actor who was 32 years old at the time?
No, I've not seen the movie. I don't know, but I don't know. Elizabeth Banks.
No. It was the man that will not age, Paul Rudd.
That makes sense. Total sense.
And those are our deep dives for this episode.
All right. Well, in that case, Tyler, let us do a little vamping as I look for my button here.
Oh, that's fine.
Because
this is good TV.
I seriously cannot find. Hey, there we go.
You know anything about the Odyssey? Huh? Did I say you could talk?
I didn't teach you that.
My friend Mr. Matthews will lead the discussion.
Do I have to draw you a picture?
Well, Tyler, let's start off with you. What did you learn this week?
Me? Little old me?
Yeah, little old you.
Well, Brett, I think what I learned is know what you're doing before you decide to volunteer, because someone could die.
Good advice.
No, I will say that one of the things I keep learning is if I'm going to know how to do something, I'm going to eventually have to learn how to do things on my own a little bit more. And, as a kid, you just assume your parents know everything because they somehow can just fix things. And really, part of it is just they had no choice but to learn, or they literally learned it right before they came over and just hoping it works out. So, yeah, learn.
All right. Nabby, what about you? What did you learn from Eric and his misadventures this week?
I learned to never work in Hollywood. That's what I learned.
Fair enough. And I learned as a dad, it's never too late to give your kids good, grounded advice in their career path. Even if they don't want to take it, they should always hear it. Because Eric took the easy way out, and unfortunately, that kind of ruined his career trajectory, his potential career trajectory in the Windy City. So,
I'm right?
No, you're exactly right.
So am I done with my education? Can I go?
let's talk grades, and we'll start with you, Abby, because I think we all know
Okay.
what you're going to grade this episode. What did you grade?
I don't think you do.
What do you grade Eric Hollywood?
I give it an A++.
An A++. Okay, you gotta give a little justification for the extra plus then.
It gets extra credit.
Extra credit, okay.
Yeah.
How does it earn the extra credit beyond just an A+?
I like when things are meta. It's really funny.
Okay.
So it gets extra credit.
All right. Tyler, what about you? How do you grade Eric Hollywood?
I wouldn't give it an A++, but I'd give it an A+.
Okay. An A+ for Tyler. I'm writing these in my grade book.
Fair.
I'm going to go ahead and give it an A. I'll be the harshest of the three of us.
How dare you?
I stick with an A rather than an A+. merely because there were just so many confusing swings in it when it came to the Hollywood element. Like, what's the role of Matt? What's the working behind the scenes? How did Eric get to where he is? Is he a stage manager? Is he a volunteer? Is this a class? Is this a club? I mean, yeah, it could be seen as niggling and details, but these are also things that could be handled with one sentence of dialogue here or there. That we had room and we had space in the episode. So just some simple tightening of the script could have helped, and they have the hippest, youngest writers in Hollywood that could have worked on it. So
also, that kid is too old for diapers.
Yes. And I had to cut it before, because I have a time limit I have to stick to on the clips, but I had to cut it before some of the insults were thrown back. So
well, you can kiss my diaper butt.
Well, Tyler, I think you owe us some dad jokes before we have to get out of here.
I do indeed. I got 2 of them for Hollywood there, Brett.
All right.
Hollywood is fake. It's all paid actors. Thank you, Abby. Okay, there we are. Okay. What did Hollywood say when another what did Hollywood say when they made another Batman movie?
What?
Dun another Batman.
Good one.
Yes, I don't like all the other ones because they make me feel icky, and I'm not saying them.
Okay, then you don't have to say them. All right.
So those are all the dad jokes, Brett.
All right. Well, in that case, we will call it an episode for the dads and our special guest theater experts. You can reach us at Dads Meet World across all our social channels at Dads Meet World. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's Twitter/X, that's YouTube if you're not watching us on YouTube already. You can send us an email at dadsmeetworld@gmail.com. And you can leave us your 5-star review if you think we did great. You can leave us a 4-star review if you think we didn't do great. And you can share the dad love with all your friends. And of course, as always, you can pick up some pretty sweet Dads Meet World merch at dadsmeetworld.threadless.com. Christmas is over, but it's always a great time to give some dad merch, because everyone loves it.
We do.
Yeah, we do. So, Abby, anything you want to say to all of the podcast world that's listening or watching?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, until
thanks
next
for coming
time.
on again and being here the whole time.
Yes, we always enjoy it when you're here the full time. Well, until next time.
Until next time, Brett.
I'll see you. Good looking.
Back to you. Good looking.
You know, how can I learn so much every week and still be so stupid?
Read the Bible.
I want to be normal, Spud.
We are the Timmers.
Topanga.
This is good TV.
Dads Meet World is a production of Headfirst Studios. Headfirst Studios. Tell your story.